Yo. Let's cut that out for a second. Yay. Okay. Dash Y. That's why it didn't work. Actually, I should have a test HTML file in here, but I don't. Which is fine. I don't really want one. I don't want to include one. To be completely honest. What we're doing. Well, first of all, let's do this. Ooh, hello. Thank you. Excuse me. Okay. We'll just go ahead and install it now. Why not? Because there's an Amplify kit that should go along with Figma. If I recall correctly. Oh, there we go. There we go. See, I don't like that. The button. There we go. It's width by height, right? Yeah. Okay, so we have a semblance of some components here. That could do with a little bit more better, a little better organization, especially with color. Do I? I'm inside VS Code right now. Why didn't it just open in VS Code? Do you know what I mean? So what they Figma install. Thou shalt should be logged in. Come on, man. I just want to start my file. There we go. So now, see, the only downside to Figma is that this font usage is like buku. You know what I mean? So let's say if I did like, I did though. Open. Okay, thank you. But it's also not loading correctly. There we go. And we see me in there. Instead of that, let's do this. All right. See, technically, it's not padding that we're having to deal with, right? Because technically this header right now should be, yeah, it's 1440 in width, but they have no height, and that's the biggest thing. It doesn't include padding. You know what I mean? Because this entire bar, like I'm selecting this. I'm not selecting this. I'm selecting the bar. Because the width is complete like this. Makes no sense. There we go. Height is 100 pixels, right? So technically, if you wanted to do component-based styles here, but we already have width and height set. So depending on the device, it's going to probably be like between 15 and 20%, not 15 20%, but like right between 10 and 15% of the viewport will be the size of the nav bar, or a 12th the size of it. Could be 100 pixels, could be 12 view height points, I guess is what you would call it. We have our development links to Storybook, GitHub, assets. I have no assets. See, that's another thing to think about. Because if we think about, let's bring Figma below here. Let's search at the top. Perfect. Because we have card here, right? And technically, one of these could be a card, right? So, do we keep these two classes? Well, technically, I'm using them as ID selectors, but we're getting rid of that. ID selectors are for like certain CSS stylings here. We can do two things. We can have a section of CSS that's specific classes, like card, button, carousel, things like that. Or we can have pre-made components using our styling conventions to showcase what can be done, which is what I think we'll be leaning towards the latter here. But we've got to make sure our back face visibility, like these I think we already have position, we already have height and width. Well, as far as animations are concerned, we don't really need to worry about lines of code, because really they're condensed anyway. And now we think about can we do a media query with inside of a media query? I guess we can. Let's just make sure those two media queries are valid and cover what I want. Cool. Let's see what we get. Whatever. Douche. Oh my gosh. Hey, nice. Uh, yeah, just for a little bit. I'll probably do it for maybe an hour and a half in total. Does it sound better? Because I think that other person was gaslighting me and or not real. I'm kind of leaning on not real. I don't think so. I don't even know why I have headphones on, but can you hear music? Oh, okay. Because things happen and I'm not even aware of them sometimes. And also having these like noise canceling headphones kind of help focus when things aren't. Yeah, but yeah, I'm kind of fiddling with tools more so for a little bit. But how is your day going? That or evening? And how was your day? Need to get a dang old haircut. Okay, so that's up to 1080. We're at 1440p. Well, that's no good. I had the opposite problem the past like 2 or 3 nights where I can go to sleep, but then immediately, I say immediately, but like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, I'd wake up and like can't go back to sleep until like 6 or 7, and then immediately wake up at 8. So I feel that to a certain degree, but it was all right. It was all right. Um, just did a little bit of coding, got a nap a little bit for that very reason. So it's like my Sleep schedule is kind of off, but it's no big deal. No big deal. So let's try this. I think I'm able to share. I think I shared audio. So we'll do this. Terrible choice. Just had your eyes closed. Rough. Just, oh no. So you had your eyes open? Where to start? Let's add a dummy index file or HTML file, right? Oh, maybe that's the reason. Maybe there's too much data going on. Let's try this. Playback. Maybe we just do the quality. There we go. We'll just do normal. I wonder if it's data. I wonder if data is the problem. Like there's like a bottleneck of some type. Because I don't have the greatest internet right now because I'm on the ranch. So I don't know if it got any better with pausing the music. That's a lie. Ooh, boy. Let's triple check. Let's triple check. So I just stopped playing music now from Spotify and we fixed the problem. Let's triple check. So I just stopped playing music now from Spotify and we fixed the problem. That's what it sounds like. Well done. Now, does it do it for if I did just regular music through Restream? Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. That's what it sounds like. It looks like we're just going to have to use Restream music, which is fine. We'll do chill hop. Just so we have something to listen to, you know? And I don't think Twitch is going to have problems with that. I don't think. Even if they do, they can suck butts. We're trying to do something here. Component maker. All right, so we have a div, right? And this is where our utility classes come in. This is where like container, card could come into play, and maybe some other things. Maybe nav could be one, because you can have a thick nav, thin nav, top bar nav kind of thing. So that could work. But we want to div it, give it a container, and then put the element in there, right? Technically, our card doesn't have an element like nav does, right? By that, I mean we have a nav component, HTML, but we don't have a card component. Okay, a fool. You have to create a div out of it. Let's see. Like the nav, right? So technically, for the nav, we would do width full, height 15, background blue 400. That's the berilliumCSS naming convention, right? So no matter what the device is, so if you have a monitor that's 1440, we already have that considered. The bar is going to be full. Same thing with 1080p. It's going to be a full across your screen. So we have all those taken care of as far as responsive sizes. So we don't have to create too many media queries as far as that's concerned. And then we have this blue here. But technically with this pharmacy theme, it probably won't be this blue. We'll have to create our own little branding set. But that's essentially what we want convention style. So we display it with flex. It's automatically a row, so we don't do anything there. With this one, we do want to do flex well, I think. If all recall correctly. And this is also where our naming convention comes in as well. So say, since we have a white, blue, and black theme, so you can say I have a light, primary, and dark. So the color of the nav bar be included in here, right? Technically, instead of doing a general class like that, we could do something like nav primary or nav light, dark. Almost like accessing a like pseudo class, so to speak. And that's for color. Or we can do nav bg primary, almost like we're doing two selectors at once. Because the convention here is not to memorize certain classes that have all these particular styles at once. It's to come up with inline thought styling kind of thing. So as you saw, like as I'm talking and thinking how we want this designed, I can, while I'm thinking about it, type it right out in thought. These markers right here are almost like these colons, almost act like selectors in your brain. Like I want to have a nav where I want to access the background and I want to make it this color, instead of having one long class name that makes no sense and having to create random classes that you can't keep track of. You kind of think of the main components that kind of get made all the time, and like really there's only like a hero, which a hero has like a card, and it's like a multiple cards that has different things on it, you know? Or it's like a carousel of images or a carousel of slides. So that could be a component right there. We have a slide, a card, a nav bar, a footer, like, you know, the main components that come with like a website. And most of the time you'll see them even in mobile applications. You'll have a top bar, some little cards with the things in it. It just, the content inside of it changes, but they still need to be styled nonetheless. Because like you see right here where this name convention, it says home tab container, and it contains all these like things in them, which could be nice to use in like certain cases, right? Like what I was saying, like container, card. But instead of saying home tab container, we just do container and the ID is a home tab. Because there's only going to be one home tab, right? So that could be passing the HTML specification rules where there should be one unique ID per element per page, right? So this one will have home, or it would be container, home tab, about tab, this tab, that tab, and they're all separate under our container. Just conventions that we have to think of to make it easier on designing websites for everyone, because not everybody wants to memorize and always look up like CSS class documentation for every CSS framework that they work with. Once you kind of get the flow, we kind of choose the same verbiage for each thing, so it's not like where we do nav color red and then like footer color maroon. Well, I mean, that would work, but I mean, it would be almost like, say that same thing again. We'll say nav blue, but it'd be nav footer. It's like, we can switch those, say footer nav or like footer links kind of thing. It's just stuff like that that we have to think about. But I wonder, well, first of all, I didn't link the styles. Berylium. Right. Now we can go live. Can't we not? Oh, I didn't put anything in there. There's no content. Hey. Let's do this again. the background blue 400. Since it's blue, we'll do white. See what I'm saying? So it's not height 15, height 5. See how we have a full bar? So sweet, so sweet. Maybe we can do 800 and get away with that. It's rough. It's rough, but it's there. So, and then in Twig, we can just put a component there for your list items, right? But that's for later. That's for our CMS platform. Yeah, I don't think I think I just did basic textiles, and that's just coloring. I don't think I have any fonts in here or font family. I have one font family, and that's Text Light. And we can try it. Text white and text white. I think that's Corlev. Hey, let's go with it. Let's go with it. Oh, dang, I forgot my tea. Hold on. How silly of me. I'm gonna have to go grab my tea real quick. Let me put it in bit mode, baby. Be right back. All right. Na, na, na. Yaloo! What's up, dude? That might have been too loud. But peace be with you, my man. How are you doing this evening? Sorry, I'm not much of a gamer right now. I am working on code. Real fun. How's your evening going? I'm actually about to wrap up here in like 30, 45 minutes anyway. So hopefully you're about to game. Because I need something to finish my coding night with. I get that, man. I'm assuming at your job or work outside somewhere at your house or something. But you probably have a gerb. But yeah, work can be rough. It can be rough. But right now, we're trying to. These are a couple of the dummy UI elements I have just put together in Figma. But what we're doing here is we're quickly trying to see if we can recreate like a nav component like this using the CSS framework that I made.
Safe flight repair, safe flight replace.
Or do you work for Lloyd's Glass? Maybe that's just regional where I'm at. Is there another big glass supplier? Do you work for Fuyao? Or do you work for somebody like a local company? And you don't have to tell me where you are, but are you in a no-fault state? If you're a replacement? Because I know where the state I'm in is a no-fault state. Because I used to sell windshield replacements. So that's kind of funny that you do that. Because I used to was a salesman. Okay. So yeah, I used to sell those, and we were in a no-fault state. So basically, you get like 4 windshield replacements a year if you have like full coverage insurance, you know. And what? Hold on. I don't know why you got banned for that. I work for a glass company. Yeah, I don't see. That might be a fail on Twitch's part there. Let's just go ahead and. All right, you're good, dude. I don't know what that was. Your timeout 60 seconds of the streaming. So that's WiseBot. Let me go ahead and try to figure this out. And to show you. Oh, I may have know why. I might know why. It could be that it could just be too high of, what do you call it? You know, with the firewall or whatever. Yeah, you're good. Because I saw every word you said. Like, I don't know if, because there's this AI thing, maybe not really AI, this protection here, right? So I don't know. let's turn that off. Let's turn that off. That's not even on. I think that's what triggered it. There's something with local glass company that's triggering this real quick. Keep saying local glass company and see if this is what's triggering it. This is interesting because there's this line of like, I hate that I had to show those words, but that's a predefined thing of cuss words. It could be this right here. These asterisks. I think that's what it is. I think it was ass company is what it was trying to do. And I'm sorry for saying that word. But I'm trying to make sure that bad words don't enter my chat, and I have to enter them in here and then repent later. You know what I mean? So if you can type local glass company one more time for me, Yalu, that'd be sick. But if you're not, I can understand if you're not here for being timed out twice. Let's see here. I'll also have it locked and ready to go if you get timed out again. We figured it out. I swear to God. Oh, I didn't mean to say that. But I mean, my gosh, Yalu, stop cursing in my chat so much. And maybe you won't get timed out. What are you planning on streaming tonight, my man? Any gaming's planned? Let's do list item times 5. Bam. Let me do list none here, and this should take out the bullets, right? Sweet. So what's planned for this weekend? What games do we got? So we want margin on the left, right? We want margin left 5. Then we save it. And that should create a nav bar, full width, has small height, blue background. The items are going to go horizontally with space in the middle. No, I get it, man. You got to rest. You got to rest. Did I stop going live here? Oh, it's because I didn't save it. We still have... that as a class, which is not good. Oh, I think I changed it. That's why. No, it's dash none. So you tell me why it don't work. You gotta tell me the game, Yulu. What's your game? So we go back. Hyphen save. Still no good. Sonic Superstars, Mario Wonder, nice. So we got options. We indeed got options. We have to take the list none out here, right? You're strict Nintendo then, right? Obviously, that I should have put together, correct? Something is not doing what it's supposed to. A display. But I have flex styles here. And in the config file, everything is linked properly. Yeah. Everything's linked properly. Sha-la la 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 la. I wonder if I can. What was in that flex style? Align items. Have grid row. Let's justify content. So yeah, so it would be even, right? Clean. Let's take the margin out. Take the between out. Okay, that didn't work. I got lots of options, over 3,000 between Steam. Oh, geez. Between Steam, Xbox, and Switch. Didn't know you played Xbox or PC. I have so many games, it's not even funny. The hardest part about streaming sometimes is just picking a game. No, dude, get that. I get that. It's like on the flip side here. It's like there's so much like design, development, and like creating things I can do that it's really hard to pick like which lane to go. No, I get that. 100%. So we've identified a problem. My flex stylings aren't working. Or maybe I'm applying too many flex stylings. No. Maybe I apply the list none up here since it cascades. I applied it everywhere so far and it hasn't worked. What is going on? Oh, I might know what's going on. Let's. I'm going to test something. Since we have a 1080p here, I was full screen. I don't know if this screen's 1440. We may figure something out here. We're going to copy. And then we'll paste. It's a separate query, right? Stupid. That should technically work. Or maybe we do something like this. Hear me out. Hear me out. We take it out of a specific media query, right? All of what we just did, right? Here's a media query. Here's a media query. Both of those resided in that. Let's take it out and put it in something like, what would we consider list none? It's more of a, is it display? Is it more styling? Is it more? I would say it's a more of a nav kind of thing, but I don't want to add anything just yet. Let's just go ahead and put it into text. Let's put it at the top, just so I can get rid of it easy. Just in case. Lo and behold, look what happens. We took it out of a media query and it worked. So what I think is happening here, what I need to do is just put display elements within media queries, right? So each little folder, say we're going to go back here, right? I have a desktop, mobile, and tablet. So each one of these is going to have a display-ish. Or maybe I don't call it display. We'll call it something else for now. And then we'll put stylings in that and then compile them together instead of putting them in a media query, and then just use spacing or create them as like a responsive layouts, like for columns and things of that nature. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? But you in school or anything, Galoo? Galoo. So I watched Silicon Valley, and one of the games is called, or one of the apps and startups in the TV series is called Gates of Galoo. And it's literally spelled like your name, but with a G at the beginning. Quite nuts. Oh yeah, are you in school? And a working man, or just a working man? Either option is fine. Just getting to know thee. Did we say text? And we put it at the top and it worked. So it needs to be outside of a media query. And we're using columns for display. See, I don't want these classes to be so that should be main, right? Because technically I think all of my heights and my widths, even positions and spacings, all use relative units, meaning it, you know, depending on the device, that's how it's spaced or created size wise. So I can split these apart and not have to worry about media queries too much, or I can just break them apart. I can just break files apart. I was just trying to keep them kind of together. Now that I've figured out that those styles aren't going to inherit properly, or how I think they're inheriting, we got to take them out. And if we're going to take them out, then they no longer need to reside in desktop. So we can take height, position, spacing, and put them into main CSS. And kind of still keep the same file structure. Oh, my headphones. Nice. Yep, relative. I mean, that's not media query specific. That's not media query specific. Nope. See, this is also relative units as well. So we also need to come up with a better naming convention for shadow, drop shadow. So like say then add a shorthand convention for like definitely do that, and then do that's too long. Here's one thing we should try. And technically, we could take all of these out and put them in like a styling. Right? Just call it and save it. And now we have specific desktop media queries here. So let's do columns, right? Set up columns. This is where another naming convention comes in, right? So let's say column small. Instead of saying like say column small border, right? We'll say display flex. Flex direction column. Border. Say I think that's what it is. Is that how it goes? Yeah. So if I save that, the width, let's just say large for right now, or medium. What was I going to do? Oh yeah, I was going to go ahead and apply the class, right? This is where this class comes in. Call medium. Oh, I already forgot. Order. Uber. And let's add a paragraph. Some. No border. So now if I add something else. No, didn't want to do that. Say if I add another div, right? And let's add 3 paragraphs. Some description. Give it a margin left of 2. Oh. Boom. Okay, our flex stylings do work. Which is good. We want my components to work. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Maybe instead of even between. Let's just do padding in between it. Ooh, that's right. That's right. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Watch this. Watch this. Okay, maybe. Thought I had something. Need to nest that in to match. Maybe the color isn't right on the border. Let me say black. There it is. Why isn't this spacing working? Okay. We are onto something here. I'm going to go ahead and commit this. Logically spacing, position, display, and what was the other one? Height and width. Okay, and then index. HTML index page to create components and test stylings. think that was it so far for this commit. Oh yeah, test stylings in class. Naming conventions. Publish it, yo. Do I have it open anywhere? I forgot to add the Google fonts. Yeah, I won't go anywhere just yet. I'll add fonts. Whoops. Where's my company? There we go. Yep, there it is. I think the two big things that are going to come out of this CSS library in particular may not be naming convention, although I'm going to try my best to make it this naming convention like intuitive and easy to use. But it's going to be the access to color, components, and like pre-made things that are going to be at the ready. Maybe some animations. Some really cool. I want to focus on some animations and some like out of the box uses for this library. Okay, yeah. Hey, we did it. We sure did it. Man, have I really been working on this a month so far? Let's see what this looks like. Oh, I can't see it. Oh. Yeah, I want to see the history. Here's the minor update. Look at that. What we started with. Some basic stylings, right? And look where we are now. We're on our way. This is what this is also what I'm looking forward to here, is to show it's not just a web styling library. I mean, that's what it's starting out to be, but I really want this to where you choose this library and you have this cohesive branding experience and UI experience across the entire thing, and not have to use multiple technologies or libraries in order to make that happen. I don't know what that one is. So yeah, So let's add some Google fonts here. Just get off my mouse pad. Open Sans is a big one. Let's do bold 700. We're going to do it as an import. I know people are like, no, don't do that. No, dog. It's there for a reason. Because I like doing it like this, right? So you can choose whatever your primary font is. So instead of saying Google, right? We'll do an import here. So now this is where we need some folders. So we're going to drag font back into here. And before we do anything, we got to change what it's called. Boom. Now everything's going to cascade in correctly. And now we can go google.com. Google.css. And then we'll do an at import here. Let's consult the font. Okay, so all we need is the URL, right? Cut at font face. Open sans bold. That's a sans serif. That is a serif. Font weight is 700. Font style normal. And then we can do another root where we do what? How do we do that? Primary font. So we just do open sans, right? Yeah. Yeah. So we just do open sans already forgot. It's already defined. Open sans bold serif. That was it. Now let's try it out. We're gonna new file adobe.css. Bam. Everything's going to turn out just fine, ladies and gents, because here's what's going to happen. We're going to do 2 import statements. You know it's going to be Adobe. And you guessed it. Google. All right. So let's define a dummy class real quick. And since it's outside of primary, let's just call it Open Sans. Font, family, whoops. Technically, that should work. And for giggles, we're going to do pixels for now. Just hear me out. It's a sans serif? No way. That doesn't look like it's supposed to. I'm going to save that, right? Huh. Let's double the size, or somewhat double the size. Let's type the same words as Google. Whereas recognition of the inherent dignity. That looks nothing alike the font. Oh. Because I know why. Try this one more time. Still didn't work. What the heck, man? I have to really do all this stuff? That's why nobody wants to use Google Fonts, man. That's why. It pissed me off, man. What the heck? Now, what the heck? Let's try this again. I guess we'll have to do font paste again. Do the same thing, but we'll do open sans. Sans serif. Okay. Cut it out. Paste it right there. Cut out the import. Why isn't this working? It should work. 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 This is. It was at the top. I mean, I could try it again. Two out. At the top. Hush. I know what I did. You don't have to tell me. I didn't name them properly all through. Okay, so our import works. Now that I know I did that wrong, let's comment that out. And comment our font face. Oh, that works way better. All right, we're keeping it. That's how we should do it from now on. Cool. So let's do another one. Let's do a bold italic. Open sans serif. It's going to be the same thing throughout, but just a different no, it's different weights. I guess it can be the same because it's two different names. Right? When we define them in just for now. Oh, I didn't change it in this. All right. So let's add that. Let's add a different one now. Let's do something popular for right now. Oh, I guess I can't. Yeah. There we go. Tomo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Maybe if by selecting all of them and then creating like oh, there we go. Technically it's the same, right? We're just adding a roboto to it. Yeah, roboto sans serif. think it's safe to say I think I may be jumping the gun here. Auto sans serif. Font size 18 pixels for now. Font weight 100. Font style italic. Now let's test it on another paragraph. Roboto light italic. This is some demo content. Righteous. Pew, 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 pew. And do bugaboo. All right. It doesn't look. Oh. There we go. Oh yeah. I gotta remember inheritance as part of my component classes, because think about this. If we just put, say, container on this wrapper class or this wrapper div, we can put, like, say, any paragraph class has this for a certain subclass. You know what I mean? So whenever this column medium border class gets called, or if it's a background grade 200 kind of a thing, like, we can get specific with our styles, and that's what I also want to do. And that's going to be a part of the component UI styles as well. Things to think about. And this text made me think about it. I think I'm going to call it here, everybody. I'm starting to get a little bit tired. Let's do it this way. Yeah. I'll take it like that. Yalu, thank you for stopping by. Anais, thank you for stopping by as well. Thank you. You're always my tech support, Anna, and I always appreciate it. You're about to get mod status if you already don't have it. I think you might have. I think I'm just going to go ahead and... It's TTV, right? I can't do it from Restream. Or maybe I did. Because it didn't show up here. Maybe I did what I was supposed to do. Maybe I did what I was supposed to do. So how do I check who my mods are? Oh, never mind. I know how to do that. How do I I'll just do it that way. So why not? All right, everybody. I'm going to call it there. So we added Google fonts to our sheets. We added Adobe not Typekit, but we added Adobe fonts to the sheet. We added some spacing to here. So that's it. I think that's what we call it. You guys have a great night. We will see you tomorrow morning. We're going to be right back at it. But I'm going to try and do some of the CMS as well. Or the CMP. It's a platform. And the CSS. And starting the React Native styling library. That's going to be the big one. We're going to have a big day tomorrow for development. We might start midday because I'm going to do a little bit of reading and studying in the morning, and then we'll be promptly right back at it. All right, everybody. Have a good night.